Letting your body once again melt into the cushion. Like a block of ice that's been left out in the sun. Completely letting go, letting be as is. Feeling that sense of awareness saturating your body from the tips of your toes, through the legs, the torso, the arms, shoulders, neck, head. Feeling that vibration, pulse of life, living quality. From the inside, we don't actually feel body, we feel sensation. Letting that sensation connect you with the inexhaustible sense of life. And continuing to use the sensations of breathing as our home base. As our means of orienting ourselves to this unfolding present. Not being gracious and welcoming of any other experience that becomes stronger than the breath. Sounds, sensations, moods and emotions. And during this sitting, I'd like to expand the field of awareness to graciously welcome the world of thinking. As I said several times yesterday in different ways, thinking is to our door of perception called mind, as a sound is to the ear, as a smell is to the nose, as a taste is to the tongue, as a sensation is to the body. Thinking is completely natural. We are, in some ways of describing, we are thought machines. So the arising of thought is not problematic. The problem is, the thinking problem is that we become absorbed or identified with our thoughts. We're simply trying to make a shift. In some ways it's the shift from bondage to freedom, but the shift from being lost in thought to noticing thinking. And so as we become aware of our thinking, you'll also likely become aware that you have certain themes, certain thought processes that repeat themselves. Planning, remembering, judging, comparing, analyzing, reminiscing, rehearsing. There may be other classes of thoughts. So when you notice thoughts arise, if you have to think about what kind of thought it is, simply note thinking, and notice what happens to that thought. Notice the common nature of thoughts as similar to sounds or moods. They appear and they disappear like clouds passing through an empty sky. So we can notice their empty, changing nature. And when the thought no longer predominates, we go back to our body and breath. You may become aware of thoughts as the mind is about to think. Sometimes there's the impulse to think. Sometimes in the middle of a thought. Sometimes after a thought has passed. Not to turn this into a competition of catching them sooner, but Just appreciating whatever moment you become aware of thinking. Not because you caught yourself, or not because you were doing something wrong, but because this is what's presenting itself on the screen of our mind. So settle back into that sky-like, impartial openness, receptive, welcoming quality, but imbuing it, our mind, with an active, curious, and interested attention to the details of what's predominant. Starting with mindfulness of breathing, relying on the mindfulness of breathing for refinement and steadiness, but graciousness when anything becomes stronger than the breath and can be known. Until there's nothing that is outside our field of meditation, everything included. In the meantime, just this moment, just this breath, or just what's predominant. It's one last reminder that when we notice thinking, we don't necessarily try to stop it. We simply see what its nature is, nor do we intentionally extend our thoughts. Simply notice that thoughts are arising and what happens to them. Notice what's happening now. Notice the attitude of mind that's noticing. Is it open, relaxed? Is it tense, resistant? Is it straining to make something happen? If it's tense, resistance, this is aversion in the mind. Straining to make something happen, this is greed in the mind. You're telling yourself a story about your practice. This is delusion in the mind. You're spaced out. This is also delusion. No need to make any judgment. Just acknowledge the state of your mind, predominant experience, and begin again. In this moment, every moment is a new beginning. Past is gone, future is unborn. There's only this unfolding present, this eternal now. Now let go of all of these ideas, past, present, now, present, future. Let it all go and just be with things as they are. This breath, this moment.